Hey everyone, Stitch here. This is just a quick video on what I like to say I think why LEGO Ninjago is such a really good show. At least in my opinion. This is from my friend SpiderFan2003. Matt, I hope you have a great birthday, dude, and enjoy the video. So why do I think LEGO Ninjago is a good show? Well, there's a few reasons. So let's go over them quickly. So let's start off with stories. LEGO Ninjago is very good when it comes to telling a story, with the character dynamics, also character interactions, and also the wacky and crazy antics the characters get themselves into. It also does a great job when it comes to showing the character's development, and showing the character's fear or issue, and how overcoming them, and so much more. Next is the characters. When it comes to the characters, each one is unique and very interesting in their own way. Kai, as an example, is a hot-headed and sometimes temper, and he is very cocky at sometimes. And sometimes he tries to be a ladies' man, but sometimes this gets him into sticky situations. And it can really backfire on him sometimes. No pun intended. But sometimes he also acts like a second leader to the group when Lloyd is in need of help or, well, doing whatever. But he still knows his place within the group, so that's a good example. Another one is Lloyd. Being a bad kid since, well, being a kid, seeing him grow up as fast as he did, growing up to be the Green Ninja, is not only a great character journey for Lloyd, but really shows how far he has come as a character from being a kid from growing to be the Green Master Ninja. Next is the character interactions. This will be a quick one. One of the best things about the show is how the characters interact off each other. If not through comedy, then through story. A very good example of this is in Season 1, when Lord Garmadon, Lloyd's dad, and him have a conversation about loving each other, but how one is good and one is evil, and knowing one day they're going to have to fight to the death against one another, and both of them not wanting to. Ninjago does a great job of giving character interactions while not only continuing the story further, but also the development of the characters makes them grow as such. And it just really goes to show how good the writing team is when it comes to making this show. Next is the side characters. Again, this will be very quick. One of the best ways to describe the side characters is just fun. A good example is Derek, aka the Brown Ninja. Derek is just fun. He goes along for the ride, sometimes helping the ninjas out when needed, even if he does screw up sometimes. But he tries his best. But he also just beats him. Or sometimes he wants to make money, or just does whatever the plot says he needs to do, or be. But still fits the character with how he is. And not only is he a member of the group, but he's also a good friend to the ninjas as well. And they do trust him. They don't just see him as a joke. They do care for him. And when they need to ask him for something, they're not afraid to ask him. And I really do like that. You honestly just can't help but love the guy. But that's just one of the characters. The rest of the characters are just as good. Oh, well, except Misako. She didn't need to be here. Yeah, she's not a good character. Next is tone. Again, this will be a very quick one. Something Ninjago does really well is balancing its tone. If not being serious, it's being funny. If it's not being funny, it's being serious. Or sometimes both at the same time. And they go so hand in hand together. When there's a serious moment, it's serious and not just played up for a joke. Yes, there might be a joke while it's happening, but something quick and it doesn't distract from the moment. When something needs to be super serious, or something just plain out goofy, the scene lets it play out, and let it be the way it needs to be. A good example of this is in Season 1. The ninjas are looking for something at a fair, and Master Wu is in a conversation with them, but he quickly gets distracted by a Ferris wheel. The reason this joke works is because the scene is not super serious, and it's just a discussion what needs to happen while being at a fair. So it makes the joke even better, because it's what they're surrounded by, so it's not just out of left field, and because of that I think it's really clever. And because of the environment they're surrounded in, and it makes the joke even better, which I really do like. I think Season 1 is a good example of tone. Other seasons do this well, but I think Season 1 is a better example of it. Speaking of jokes, next is the comedy. It's either slapstick, comes the heck out of nowhere, or just character interactions, or sometimes their facial expressions. Simple stuff, but very funny and very effective. Not much to say on it, just love it. Next is the music. There's not much for me to say here, but what can I say? The music is not only beautiful, but it really brings the show of Ninjago to life. And its beautiful scenery and character themes, intense action, and so much more. The music is really good at bringing to the show, and it really brings it to life. The songs themselves are really good too, a lot of good bangers. Also on a side note, I love how every season has a new different version of the main theme, the Weekend Whip. It's a very nice detail and I wish more shows did this. Also, I should mention the voice cast. They do a really good job with their roles. They knew who their characters are and they know how to play them, and the show would not be the same without them. Also, I should mention this too, the animation is really good. While at first it does look cheap, but as time goes on, not only is it really appealing, but it gets even better, even movie cinematic at points, and I really like that. Next is the villains. While not all of them are great, most of them are. All of them have good personalities, and some have backstories, some don't, but some are unique in different ways of being evil. Not all are great, but very fun indeed, and so much more. So last but not least, is the world building. In my opinion, one of the best things that this show does is world building. Not only does it really bring the world of Ninjago to life, but it really captures the essence of what the show is and how the world works. It's really fascinating with the way they remember continuity. It's amazing to me how they can remember all this canon. I can't put into words how fantastic the world building is. Probably it's some of the best we've ever seen in a TV show, at least in my opinion. I just can't describe in words. It's just one of those things you just have to see for yourself. There's just so much to say, but I just can't. It's just too good. So, I'll leave you with this. If a LEGO show can show how great world building is, I don't see why any other show can't. That being said, LEGO Ninjago is a fantastic show. Yes, very flawed, but really good. But a really good show that's not only great, but I'm super happy it's going to this day, which it deserves to be, unlike specific shows these days. There's so much uniqueness and charm put into it, and you can tell the people making the show really do care for it. One more thing I'd like to say, while it is a LEGO show, it does make it feel more realistic. Just because they're Legos doesn't mean they will take their hands or head off. It keeps it more realistic, and if something happens or gets hurt, well, they get hurt. They don't play it up for jokes, they make it the way it needs to be. And personally, I like that. And it's part of the charm, and I really do like that. Plus, I'd rather have it like this than anime. Ugh. But just the way they do it is really well done, and I don't think any other show could have pulled it off, at least in my opinion. That being said, I love LEGO Ninjago, and I'm super happy it's in my top 10 favorite shows. I don't know where I'd put it, but the show is really good, and I really do hope more kids watch it. I really want a younger generation to grow up with the show like we did. It's really good, and it really needs to be seen more. I know there's a big fan base, but man, I just really wish sometimes LEGO treated it the way it needed to be treated. That being said, LEGO Ninjago is something special, and I always cannot wait to watch more of it, and I always can't wait to watch more episodes, because man, this show always brings something new whenever it needs to be. It's funny, cute, unique. There's not many other shows like it, and I just can't help but love it. And I also want to thank Matt for getting me into the show. Yeah, I watched the show when I was younger, but thanks to Matt, I really got into the show, and honestly, I cannot thank him enough. So Matt, if you're watching this, which I know you are, it's your birthday video, thanks so much for getting me back into the show. I honestly cannot thank you enough. That being said, I give the show of LEGO Ninjago itself, and can't believe I'm saying this, a 9 out of freaking 10. Yeah, not many things I give that rating, but hey, this show deserves it. Yes, well, it's not the best thing ever, but it doesn't need to be. But there's so much good with it, you just can't help but do the Weekend Whip.